New day, new goals, let's own it. And in today's episode of Leaders Create Leaders, we're gonna go and meet up with the founders of Movement, both Kassan and Kramer LaPlante. These guys built the fastest growing millennial watch company in the world. And I'm talking about in just 4 years, they hit 60 million in revenue, on track to break 90 million now. They're Forbes 30 under 30, but we're gonna get into the backstory, how, guys, they dropped out of college, which I can relate to, but you know, before that, they literally worked valet. They were broke. So how did they actually build this empire? We're gonna get into it. It's the untold story of Jake and Kramer, founders of Movement.
Yo, I'm excited. Jake, thank you for like doing this interview. Kramer, man, like first and foremost, I just want to say congratulations. You know, coming here, seeing the vibes, meeting the team, getting like the opportunity to come and see, you know, a company that was once just an idea and now to such scale, and two young guys that are just like, I guess still 24?
26, 25, yeah.
Okay. You know, but starting this company, man, like when you're like 20 years old, like I'm assuming you guys are around that age, and it reminds me of like when I first started out as an entrepreneur, but I sure as hell didn't build a company at that age to last year, over $53
million last year, yeah.
53 million in revenue last year. This year you said you'll break over $80 million. You guys have sold how many watches?
Over 1 million.
Over 1 million.
Yeah.
You're expanding the lifestyle brand. I know you guys now got sunglasses. I got some sunglasses today. That's pretty dope. So again, you guys, first and foremost, congrats. How does it feel? Thank you.
It's crazy. I mean, again, 4 or 5 years ago, we were working valet, broke, dropouts of college. I mean, so yeah, to be here now is it's definitely a dream come true. And sometimes we have to pinch ourselves just to, you know, realize it's real. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. I like one thing that like we both relate is the fact that all three of us dropped out of college, right? And it's interesting because when I dropped out of college, it wasn't like a cool thing. You know what I mean? Like it was like nobody really dropped out of college. I'm a little bit of an older millennial, so like I think that around when I was going to college, like all my friends were like legitimately were like, school's the wave. And when I dropped out, it was like immediately like he's that failure. He's gonna freaking. We had a feeling he was gonna fail, you know, be that college dropout. Whereas now, you really see so many people dropping out of college that are becoming very successful.
Totally.
But like, talk me through, because I'm interested to hear the story of like what that was like to actually make that decision to drop out of college. And did you guys have this idea figured out at that point?
So it was a little different for each of us. My personal experience was I dropped out at 19. So again, barely made it through high school. 1 year into college, I was essentially failing out. I had a business at the time prior to Movement, and it was kind of taking off. Just hit 6 figures, so I was at 100K in revenue. This is going to be it. This is my career. So I dropped out with kind of the outlook that I had my next big thing, and everyone looked at me and said, "Okay, it makes sense. Like he's a dropout, but." I had a business, it made sense, it was, you know, validated. And 2 years later, I was out of business. So pretty quickly, I went from college dropout, you know, on top of the world, to 20K in debt and, you know, kind of stuck with shit, did I make a mistake? So that was where I was at. I'll let him kind of talk on behalf of his.
Yeah, I think for me, it was pretty similar. My upbringing, my brother, older brother, older sister, both went to school. My parents graduated college, so that was kind of like the route that I was supposed to take, which I wasn't against. I knew I didn't have anything else at the time that was going to give me a career. So I figured I'd get through college. I always had the side hustle. I was always an entrepreneur, and I didn't drop out until I had something similar to Jake. I was going to UCSB. I was almost done, but when I started making money and I saw a kind of a path to success there, I just couldn't focus on school. And I knew that I could always go back if I needed to, but I just at the time, like being so focused on being an entrepreneur and going to school for something that I wasn't enjoying and I didn't think was benefiting me, I just thought it was the right move, and but I would say, I mean, I did think school was the right choice for the time I went, because I didn't have anything else to do. We were working valet jobs, making money, but we didn't have anything that was going to give us a career. So I wasn't going to drop out with no kind of clear path to success, I guess.
And I think to your point, when I dropped out, at least at 19, it wasn't looked at as a smart move, right? Like, people looked at it, you need college. College is the only way to become successful. And but the one thing that we felt is, like, what we were doing in college made no sense to further our careers. I was doing book reports and English classes and algebra and all these different, like, classes that just made no sense. It was prereq type of stuff, where I wanted to learn about business and I wanted real life experience. And unfortunately, unless you get into, you know, a Brown or a Duke, like a big university, which you need a ton of money to do, and my parents were broke, or you need the grades to do, which I didn't have, you're kind of left out to dry in not the best education, where I think the real life experience and self-education is where we just kind of walked into, given that we weren't in school for a significant amount of time. We had free time to really leverage just the internet and self-education.
Totally agree. So talk to me about, you guys drop out of college. Like, what's next for you guys? Like, what did you guys have this idea of movement? You know, you saw crowdfunding as a way to help you guys get something launched. Talk to me about, like, your crowdfunding experience, and then at what point did you guys say, like, all right, let's create something and take the crowdfunding approach?
Yeah, I think for crowdfunding, it's been 4 years since we launched, so things have obviously changed. I think a compelling problem that you're solving, I like to compare it to, you know, those infomercials where they show someone on their hands and knees, like, cleaning a stain, and then, you know, the Swiffer, right? Like, it's black and white, like, this is the bad way, the old way, this is the new way. So identifying early on what problem you're trying to solve, again, seems super basic, but that was a trend that we had seen on crowdfunding campaigns that were successful. It was a really good identifying the problem. We didn't even pay anyone to make our video. We went and bought a camera from Costco and then returned it. So it was all, like, just me and him. So, and it wasn't the highest quality budget video. We didn't know what we were doing. It was the first video we had filmed. It was just really being data driven and thinking about what we had seen work, and then applying those methodologies to the business.
Some of you may not know this, but that really expensive watch you've always wanted only cost a fraction of the price to make. Brands create artificially high prices and invest heavily in marketing to craft an image of luxury and quality. Giving our desire to want nice things, we are under the false impression that you get what you pay for. My name's Jake, and this is Movement Watches.
So what was your first video like? Was it mainly you guys just talking about, you know?
Well, we needed one person to film, so he filmed, and then I was kind of talking, but, like, out the gate, identify the problem, and that the typical watch that you're purchasing, it has a retail markup, and we could produce the same quality watch at more than half the price. So that was kind of out the gate, first 15 seconds. And then from there, it was, you know, making sure we had good, high quality product shots. That's another thing that some people didn't even show the product in their video. I think marketing and advertising is a huge component to any successful brand. If you have a retail store but you have no foot traffic, you're not going to do well. And same thing goes for a crowdfunding campaign or website. So being smart and growth hacky on how to get traffic to the page. And then from there, that's where Kickstarter and Indiegogo do so well, because once you find momentum, their algorithm detects that, and then you rank higher up. So we kind of hacked the algorithm in a sense, where we had a bunch of traffic and we'd get on their email, and then they'd email 1 million people. We'd do 30K that day, and then we ended a campaign and then actually started another one. So we got on their email again, another 30K. So little things like that is essentially just, I guess, marketing and story, good product, photography, videography, etc. So
I think also making sure it's believable. I think being millennials, I think a lot of your followers are millennials. I think a lot of people love crowdfunding and they love supporting young entrepreneurs. So I think that was really a big advantage for us, just because they saw what we were trying to do. They knew we were, like, you know, young entrepreneurs, and they wanted to support us. think that's a lot of what crowdfunding is about. Is there's so many people that go on there just wanting to be kind of the first one to be a part of whatever it is. And if you make a believable kind of, you know, make people like want to be you kind of thing, like you're gonna get more supporters. And I think that's a big piece of it.
So what was the money used for? Like once you guys, how much did you guys raise during that?
It's about 300,000.
Wow.
And
that was in
That was two campaigns. Essentially, it was one ended, and we said, "Shit, we should have like made this last for another 20 days." So we extended it.
And this was on Indiegogo.
Indiegogo, yeah. We actually got denied on Kickstarter multiple times. They've since changed their policies, but again, back then it was, I don't know. They weren't very open with why. I think they wanted some crazy innovative product, and yeah, for whatever reason, I guess our watch wasn't. But we took our talents to Indiegogo, and yeah, so two campaigns, 50 days, ended up doing 300K, and essentially the money was, a portion of that was just to inventory, because crowdfunding is just pre-orders in a sense. So inventory, and then the profits from there, it was like, okay, is this it? Are we done, or are we going to keep going with this? And we really believed in what we were building. I mean, before we even launched, we talked about this being a $1 billion brand one day, and that's what we wanted to build. And so we just said, all right, we're going for this, and reinvested. We were I was out of my parents' house in LA, and he was in San Diego, and then that year we did $1 million. So we saw continued growth, like freaking out every single day. We got more orders, we were freaking out, and then ended up moving to Venice, and that's where the work really started.
So when Jake and Kramer dropped out, a lot of their friends thought they were being lazy, right? But the fact of the matter is that they really had something they wanted to go all in on and really truly build a business. And it wasn't easy from the beginning. In fact, they had a hard time building their customer base, and they had to really learn how to master marketing, how to master e-commerce, how to master influencer marketing. And they had a mentor, Damon John actually, that told them retail is dead. Double down on what's working for you online with e-commerce. That was some of the best advice they ever got, because that's exactly what they did. We're gonna get to how they use crowdfunding to really raise the initial capital to launch their product. This is a great way for you guys to learn how, even though you may only have like $5,000, I launched many of my companies with $5,000, $10,000, but that initial couple $100 grand, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, you could do it through crowdfunding, and that's exactly what Jake and Kramer did, and it helped them to launch. But remember, they were focused. They were going all in on something. They weren't trying to do all these different ideas. They were going down into one, and that's how they built this empire.
Sure. Yeah, no, I agree. Talk to me a little bit about, like, you as you've been building out the company, you haven't like overhired. It seems like you have like a really solid team. I would say maybe about 30 people that I saw. Yeah. What's the culture? What's the culture here?
I think the average age is about 26 years old, so it's very entrepreneurial, hungry to learn. I think we live in such an awesome place in LA, and Playa Vista is Silicon Beach, so you have the Dollar Shave Clubs, the Honest, Facebook's across the street. So the network of people that you're going out with on a Saturday night or getting business dinners with is it's motivating to hear other success stories, and I think everyone here is a lot of people here are relatively new in their career or have moved here to take their career to the next level. So I think it's just inspiring, and Movement being such a fast growth, profitable company, we realize that this doesn't happen often. Right. So we're really thankful for where we're at, but also, we're already a global brand. We're 50% international, but there's still work to be done, multi-categories. We want to get to $1 billion, and everyone's excited about where the future lies, and so it's just very motivating. And with that said, it's also we're friends, and it's casual. We got a ping pong table, drink beer on Fridays, like go out together. So it's it's a cool casual environment, but I think it's because everyone knows that they got to get their shit done, and we all demand the same amount out of each other. And yeah, so I mean you have to ask my employees, but I think they like it. So
yeah, that's awesome. No, the culture seems really cool.
Yeah.
Everyone is vibing, and I feel like everyone, and is all focused on that one, that one big dream of continuing to just level up this brand and take it to the next level. And it seems like you guys are headed there pretty quickly.
Trying.
I was gonna say, it's also pretty humbling how you guys you know, it doesn't seem like it's gotten to your head. You know, like a lot of young people that I know that have amounted not even half the success that your company has have allowed it to get to their head, right? And then they end up wasting money, making bad decisions, getting caught up in all the distractions, going out, partying, buying stupid shit, like, you know, making bad decisions. You know, how have you guys stayed grounded? How do you guys stay grounded?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the way we were brought up. I mean, we weren't brought up in wealthy families too. I mean, we remember, like, our goal is to help take care of our parents, and yeah, I think it's just who we are as people. I also think that regardless of how much money is involved, it's about progress and it's about helping other people at the end of the day, and that's the most fulfilling thing. So I don't know, I guess we've just identified with that, and you know, it's obviously nice things, being able to travel and financial freedom at some point is makes life less stressful, but it's why some of the most successful people in the world are still climbing, still working crazy hours of the day, not because they're necessarily obsessed with just the work life, but they're obsessed with the progress, exactly. And I think that's the most fulfilling thing, along with helping other people.
I think one piece of it is we're not arrogant to think that we can do everything better than everybody. I think we know there's smarter people than us. We know that there's people that we could bring on board that can do a better job at a lot of pieces of the business that we need help with. So I think we've done a good job from the beginning of bringing people on that we trust, that we know we don't have to have a say in everything they do, that we can rely on them to make a smarter decision than probably we'd even make. But I think, yeah, hiring people and trusting people, and knowing that you're not the best at everything, I think has really helped us succeed and grow without any huge kind of hiccups, I guess.
You said it well earlier off camera, and I can't remember exactly, but it was like not necessarily being an expert at one thing, but, you know, being pretty good at a handful of things and understanding a handful of things.
Being an expert of experts.
Exactly. And I think that is that hits it right on the head, and it's growing a company, you have to decide what you want. If you want to be the best marketer, you know, data-driven DR marketer, then your business is going to cap out, or you're going to need to find someone to run the business, right? But if you want to, you know, make the decisions and be the problem solver and hire and delegate, then you can't be the expert at everything. It's just impossible. You need to hire smarter people than you, and you need to empower people to make decisions that, you know, help them grow as well. So yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you said. It's pretty much the...
Let's talk about that a little bit, like the influencer marketing, right? Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs that have been on the show, a lot of my friends that are successful entrepreneurs. You know, influencer marketing has been a game changer for us. You know, there's no doubt about it. You know, looking back 10 years ago when I first started my businesses, like, that didn't really exist.
Yeah.
You know, now with social media, you have the ability to become, these people have the ability to become influencers, and not even being like, you know, having to be like an athlete or an actor. Like, you can be someone, be yourself, and build a brand. And then now, like, that can move product.
Yeah.
You know, so like
some of the biggest influencers are just that, just themselves, and have 100 million followers.
Right. So like, what has been your strategy to get these influencers to work with you, right? Because they get hit up all the time.
Yeah.
They're very particular. Like, I know me, like, I'm very particular with a brand, who I will work with, who I'm going to represent. You know, so like, what's the approach that you take, and what's some advice that you would give someone who is like just getting their company going right now, just getting their product launched, and they're looking to get some influencers to work with them?
Yeah, more secret sauce. There you go. I think that for us, it was catering relationships early on. So we got in early where people were not as big as they are now, right? So, and people value that. I mean, you build relationships. I almost think that if you're starting off and you're trying to work with the biggest and hoping that it's going to be you're gonna work with them and it's going to blow up your business. Sometimes that happens. I think if the influencer really loves the brand, it's a perfect fit. But most of the time, I think you build these relationships, and in the next few years, they're going to be a big influencer, and they're going to remember, you know, we worked together for so long. I mean, some of the artwork we have in the office is from, I think you might have interviewed one of them, but it was like Sam Colder and Jacob, which are two huge photography influencers that we've worked with and have been working. I mean, we knew they were talented from the get-go, we're working with them, sending them watches, and this is before anyone knew of them. And now they've blown up, but we have that relationship. I mean,
Right.
it's all about relationships, and it's all about who you know. And I think sometimes going after the big cheese just doesn't pay off, and it's not authentic. You talk to their manager, they post. So,
No, that's what's up. So what are like your dreams? Like, what is like, how do you guys feel right now? Like, you know, after building $1 billion company, which is unbelievable, and that, I'm sure that's like this big dream. But like, what are some of the things that, you know, you're like your true aspirations, and how you want to leverage this for other things that you've maybe had aspirations for?
Yeah. So I think being bootstrapped and kind of our whole net worth is in this company.
Yeah.
We haven't really been able to take a few steps back and be like, we've made it. I think we're all day, every day thinking about movement. How do we grow it? How do we continue to build the team, and make sure that not only the team benefits, but our family, you know, like continue to grow this company. And then I guess what I'm trying to say is we haven't reached the point of like we've made it. I think a lot of people look at us and say, oh, they've made it. But I think for us, we haven't yet. I think we still run this company like it was like as we launched it. It's been 4 years now, but we're still waking up every morning. Like, we're not just like sitting on a beach. Like, this company's huge now.
Right.
You know, like we're still super ambitious about it. But I think our goals for sure, and I think Jake has a similar goal, is, you know, pay it forward, make sure our families are taken care of. And I think we've always been motivated to just be successful.
You know what I love about Jake and Kramer in this episode is the fact that even though their company is uber successful, they don't feel like they made it yet. You know, they're still not, you know, they're not content. And a lot of entrepreneurs, they start making millions of dollars and they don't know how to handle that success. They don't have the character. So a lot of times they end up failing because they don't know how to actually reinvest and build a culture, build a team. And Jake and Kramer have done an amazing job, like being there and seeing how they built this unbelievable team. But at the same time, everybody knows that as much as they're excited and they're enjoying the adventure, that they gotta get shit done. They gotta execute, and they're doing just that. You know, and another thing that I really love is the fact that both Jake and Kramer, they didn't come from a wealthy background like myself. And their goal was always to take care of their family, to give back. And I was able to do that with my mom, my dad, my sister, buy them cars, you know, pay off their mortgage. And the fact that that at the end of the day, their goal is to give back to their family and to their community, you know, is something that really speaks volumes about their character. So shout out to you, Jake. Shout out to you, Kramer. Thanks for doing this episode. And guys, I hope you took a lot of lessons from this. I mean, it really is truly possible for you guys to build your dream and scale it in today's, you know, internet market, you know, in this digital media landscape, in this social media landscape, you know, mastering influencer marketing, mastering your product, mastering customer service, mastering how to like truly understand how to best get to your target demographic and really scale it online. So I hope you guys love this episode. Let me know what you think. And, you know, if there's anyone else you want to see on the show, you know, let us know, because we're getting ready to get close to season 4. Make sure to check out the podcast, because we just took all of our episodes and turned it into audio files so that you guys can listen while you're in the gym or on your way to work if you can't watch the videos. And we appreciate you guys. You know, it's been 3 seasons in. So excited to continue to find some of the most amazing modern day leaders and entrepreneurs out there and tell their untold stories. It's your boy GA. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.